Sir, go ahead.
Destruction, suffering, grief. This is something that we all feel at least once in our lives. Our sin should not make us feel joyful, but it should make us feel hopeless. That is the purpose of the law. Now, the Bible shows many verses describing this grief for sin, even for Jesus, and we can apply these verses to our lives. Now, the verse that I chose is not a typical Bible verse. I chose Lamentations 1 verse 20, which I will read now. Look, O Lord, for I am in distress. My stomach churns. My heart is wrung within me, because I have been very rebellious. In the street the sword bereaves. In the house it is like death. Now, this seems very strange as a Bible verse, but it has a purpose. The book Lamentations, which I chose this verse because I didn't know much about the book Lamentations. Lamentations was written because Jeremiah the prophet, which is most likely the prophet for the writer of this book, was lamenting for the destruction of Jerusalem by the Babylonian Empire. This book was probably written between 587 BC and 585 BC, according to the Lutheran Study Bible, page 1295, and Lamentations written on Insight for ChristianMinistry.com. Lamentations. The original name of this book was, in the original Hebrew, means alas, or how, describing feeling of utter hopelessness and grief, but it was changed to Lamentations. And also in the Old Testament, there are many other verses which describe this kind of pain. From Job 30, verse 27, it reads, My inward parts are in turmoil and never still. Days of affliction come to meet me. Also, from Psalm 25, reads, verse 17 reads, The troubles of my heart are enlarged. Bring me out of my distresses. And Deuteronomy verse 32, verse 25. Outdoors the sword shall be wreathed, and indoors terror, for young man and woman alike, the nursing child with the man of gray hairs. The Old Testament shows many verses depicting this kind of grief and terror inside of people's hearts and outside of their homes as well, for destruction purposes. Because the Lamentations was written during the destruction of Israel, which looks something like this. It's probably what people saw outside when they looked of their homes. Saw something like this, and that probably filled them with utter grief and terror. This next picture is a picture of the prophet Jeremiah. It's a painting representing his lamenting for Israel. So, now, if you look at your handouts, which I gave you, you will see how, when they were captive during the third siege, there was more than one time when Jerusalem was destroyed by outside forces. So this wasn't something that just happened once. It happened many times because of Jerusalem's sin in Israel. Because they fell away from God, bad things happened to them. Okay. So you can put those away and I'm done looking at them. Jesus also felt the same kind of grief as Jeremiah did. So basically what happened, one part where Jesus felt this grief was when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives with his disciples, and he went off by himself to pray. And when he was praying, he started feeling this utter grief and utter hopelessness and utter just agony. And the Bible describes him as sweating like blood. And it even says that an angel came to strengthen him because he was in such pain. Now, something that we think that this pain is our sins and our suffering going on to him for him to destroy it all from going on the cross. So this is a time of utter suffering for Jesus. He felt our grief in that garden. Now, how does this apply to us today? These verses can have many messages. To believers, we can say that even if we feel hopeless and we feel grief, Jesus felt this as well, and so we know that he took it upon himself, and we don't have to be burdened with it as much as anymore. Now, to unbelievers, Christians, it's supposed to, our sin and our grief is supposed to lead us to the realization that we can do nothing good ourselves, and we'll always feel this utter hopelessness. What's going to happen to us when we die, because we know that we haven't been good. The law is supposed to lead us to the realization that we need a Savior, and that is the purpose of these Old Testament leadings to needing a Savior. So even though our sin and the bad things in life make us despair, we don't have to live in that fear forever of sin and darkness and grief. Because we know that Jesus felt our pain, and we know that Jesus knows how we feel, and he took it upon himself. So when your sin and the terrors of this world weigh you down, just remember that there is a God who loves you enough to carry you and to care for you in your grief and hopelessness.
Thank you very much. Let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much, Brent.